Hey everyone, and welcome to our Take 5 moment for this week. Summer is finally here, guys, and I hope that all of you are enjoying it and making the most of it. Well, let's get right into our Take 5 for today. We're right in the middle of a series called This or That. What's it about? Well, it's about one thing all of us struggle with in some way or another: comparison. It's when we hold this in our lives next to that in someone else's life, and suddenly we just don't feel like we measure up. That's comparison, and it's a bigger part of our lives than most of us even realize. Comparing our this to their that can leave us feeling all kinds of ways: disappointed, hopeless, frustrated, anxious, motivated, and sometimes even like we're better than others. But today, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful feelings comparison brings out in all of us, and that's the feeling of jealousy. Alright, here comes story time. So, when I was your guys' age in middle school, I had a best friend. Me and him were as close as two peas in a pod, okay? And we had very different skill sets. He was an amazing dancer, okay? Like, phenomenal, and to this day he's killer, okay? Me, on the other hand, I sucked. If I'm gonna put it as honest as possible, I was horrible, absolutely horrible, and our friend group seemed to always flock towards him because he was such a great dancer and he was gifted and talented, and this made me so jealous of, yes, my best friend. I was jealous of my best friend because he could dance so much better than me, and he got everybody's attention too. And well, people have been dealing with this whole jealousy thing for thousands of years, so much so that the Bible has story after story of people whose lives were affected by it. One of those people is a guy named David. His story is crazy because he went from being a shepherd boy to a hero on the battlefield to eventually becoming king. Now, at first, the king of Israel at the time, a guy named Saul, liked David. After all, David killed a giant named Goliath and saved the nation during battle. That was a big win for Saul's army. Excited over the victory, the people of Israel greeted King Saul with a parade to celebrate as the army returned home from battle. And that's when things started to change. See, Saul had a major issue with the way that people decided to celebrate. The song they sang celebrated both King Saul and David, and as king, Saul didn't want to share his fame and popularity. Take a look at his response. This made Saul very angry. "What's this?" he said. "They credited David with 10,000s and me with only thousands. Next, they'll be making him their king." So, from that time on, Saul kept a jealous eye on David, and you can find that in 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 8 and 9. See, what happened there, just like that, boom! Jealousy changed the way Saul viewed David, and eventually that jealousy changed the way he treated David. Saul's jealousy got so bad that he even tried to kill David. Not once, not twice, but multiple times. Why? Because he was jealous. Saul was happy with his life and even his relationship with David until he started comparing himself to David. The comparison led to jealousy, and that jealousy changed everything. It changed Saul. It changed his relationship with David, and it consumed a big part of Saul's life. Saul spent a lot of his reign as king thinking of ways to hurt David. Now, I know that that's a dramatic story, but that's what jealousy has the power to do: to change the way that we see what we have, to destroy our relationships with other people, and to kill our ability to celebrate the good things happening in our lives and in other people's lives as well. When we compare ourselves to other people, we end up not celebrating others or ourselves in the process. In another place in the Bible, a book filled with wisdom called Proverbs, the writer explained jealousy in this way. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. Proverbs 14:30. Envy is just another way to say, you guessed it, jealousy. And as the writer of this proverb said, it has the potential to rot or break down your bones. Of course, it won't literally do that. The writer was simply painting a picture of the way jealousy impacts our lives from the inside out. But think about your bones for just 1 second. They're pretty important, right? Like, they're an important part of the body. They're the core of what holds you up. They're what makes the shape of you. The writer of this proverb was painting a pretty awful picture that envy hits at the core of who you are. Jealousy rots you to your core. It decays, it breaks you down, and it eats at you. So, how do we avoid comparison and jealousy and choose to celebrate others and ourselves instead? I think that we can begin by doing 2 things. 1, start with you. Think about what you do that has worth in celebrating. And trust me, there is something you have that's worth a celebration. Maybe it's a good relationship with your parents, or a really cool older sibling, or one solid best friend. Maybe it's the fact that you made the team or simply had the courage to try out. Maybe it's a sunny day, or a song you really love, or the fact that you know God loves you. Big or small, start avoiding jealousy by celebrating the good in your own life. Now, number 2, you probably guessed it, but celebrate somebody else. And I don't mean just anybody else. I want you to try and find a way to celebrate the person you're jealous of right now. I know that's not going to be easy, but remember, celebration will help you move towards peace, and peace will build you up. This is just as much for you as it is for the other person. So congratulate them for getting the lead in the play, or compliment their new skateboard trick, or talk positively about them with your friends. And if all you do is pray for them, that works too. Prayer is a great place to start celebrating and appreciating somebody else. Now here's the thing. I think we all could use a little practice when it comes to celebrating ourselves and celebrating others, right? I mean, I found something to teach us some perfect ways to do just that. Now, everybody stand up. We know it's easy to talk about this here at church, but it's not as simple in your real life. That's why we made sure everybody in this room or viewing has a small group leader that you can reach out to. These people show up in every asset every week because they care about you. They want to celebrate you and help celebrate other people. They want to help you practice this stuff because they know it can change your life for the better. So, leaving today, let this be our prayer, let this be our challenge for today is, what's one thing or person that we can celebrate today, this week, this month, and even this year? All right, guys, it's been amazing. I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a great weekend and stay safe.